is Danae, and today's video is all about how to stay focused when you're practicing the piano or any other instrument for that matter. Sometimes there are situations where we've carved out practice time and we're thinking to ourselves, these are the 3-4 hours that I'm going to use in such a productive way, but then we start playing and we don't really get into that focused mindset. So here are a couple of my tips on how you can ensure to be focused when you're actually sitting at the piano. So first of all, I think the most important thing is to set goals. Sometimes the goals are already set by themselves. For example, if you have a performance coming up, an exam, a competition, or a concert, or maybe even a lesson with your teacher, this can always be a goal. So sometimes these goals are set for you, but sometimes they aren't, and that's when you have to set them for yourself. So, for example, in these times right now where there's the coronavirus and all concerts are canceled, for me, all my set goals are suddenly not there anymore. I don't have any concerts coming up in the next weeks because they were all canceled due to this situation. So now I have to set my own goals to ensure that I stay focused and motivated to practice. So on the one hand, we have the long-term goals, which is what I was just talking about. Let's say the competition or the concert, the next performance coming up. But then on the other hand, we also have short-term goals. And these can be goals of things you want to achieve in that specific day. So that when you start your practice session, you already know for yourself, okay, after these 3-4 hours, I want to be able to play this and that, or to have improved this specific passage. So set long-term goals and set short-term goals. And for the long-term goals, I would suggest to definitely be realistic, and so that you don't get disappointed because it's basically not even realistic to reach them. So be realistic, but also stretch them a little bit so that you have to put in that extra amount of effort to get there. Once you have your goals set and you know what the end product, let's say, the end game is that you want to reach on that day, let's get into the actual process of practicing. One very obvious tip, but I feel like it is important to mention it nonetheless, is to avoid all possible distractions. So distraction number one, for me at least, the main distraction is the phone. The phone on the piano, seeing a message, seeing something pop up. It doesn't even have to be something for entertainment. It might be something important, an important email. When I see that, it distracts me a lot and I immediately lose focus. This is why when I want to practice in a really focused way, I leave my phone somewhere else, or I put it on flight mode or something like that, so that I'm focused on piano playing only and not distracted by the phone. Obviously, you should be focusing on the piano practice only. This is what's going to ensure the highest results. Another tip that I would like to suggest is to really focus and dive deeply into the music. And what I mean by that is that if you're playing a passage and let's say you're just kind of dabbling around playing it, your mind can quickly wander off and the focus is gone. However, if you really ask questions like, what does this passage mean? What does this phrasing mean? What is the emotion behind that music? You kind of force your mind to focus and zoom in on that specific thing that you're doing right now, and you get to really be concentrated in the moment, and that's the feeling that you want to reach. So try to really concentrate on the musical meaning behind the passage and have high standards for yourself. Don't be happy with just the first or second time that you played. Try out different things. Try to really go into detail. Even if you're a beginner, or even if the piece that you're playing right now is new, don't say, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna do the notes for today. No, never do just the notes. Focus on the music. That's what's gonna ensure much higher results, much faster progress, and also a continuation of focused practice for you. Now, another thing that I would suggest that I find pretty helpful is to sometimes record yourself while practicing and then listen to it and basically be your own critic. This really gives you the perspective of the listener, because sometimes when we're playing, we don't really realize exactly what we're doing because we're so in the moment. So if you do that and then you listen to yourself, that gives you a fresh perspective on what you're doing, and then the chance to get to the piece from a whole different side. And focus also is influenced by different perspectives. If we do the same thing over and over, your mind quickly gets bored and the focus is gone. But if you change perspectives, this is when your mind stays alert. Another very important tip is to also definitely take breaks. Breaks are very important when staying focused. Our mind tires out quickly, especially when we're very concentrated. So take frequent breaks. For me, every 45 minutes, I could take a short break, for example. And the break can be away from the piano, go for a little walk, have a coffee, drink some water, but it can also be at the piano. You can, for example, just sight read something for fun, which gives your mind a break. Maybe not your fingers, but it gives your mind a break, and focus is all about the mind. So play something that you already know very well, enjoy the music, and then get back to the harder passage that you're doing right now that requires a lot of focus from you. Taking breaks kind of resets your mind and gives you the chance to start from a fresh point and renewed energy and renewed focus after the break. So I would definitely recommend taking a lot of breaks and not to think that practicing 4 or 5 hours without a break is going to improve your focus. And then, just like what I said about recording and having the other perspective, try to really change it up when you're practicing. So when you have a passage that is hard and that you feel that you're not really progressing with, don't play it over and over again in the same way. Try different things. Try practicing the hands separately, try playing it slowly, try playing it faster, try applying different exercises to it. Then again, back to the point that I made earlier, dive into the music. What is the musical meaning behind it? That way, changing things up, it gives your mind the chance to also have different perspectives and therefore not be bored and lose focus. I really hope that you enjoyed this short video about focus while practicing, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!